In the ancient kingdom of Vanyara, nestled in a secluded valley surrounded by towering mountains, there stood a tree unlike any other. Known as the heart tree, it was a symbol of life and prosperity for the entire kingdom. Each spring, the heart tree would burst into bloom, its delicate flowers releasing a soft, shimmering light that enveloped the kingdom in warmth. But as the years passed, the kingdom's prosperity grew ever more dependent on the heart tree's power. The heart tree, once vibrant and alive with light, began to wither. Its bark turned pale, and its blossoms fell to the ground like dry leaves in autumn. The riverbeds that once flowed with crystal-clear water now lay empty, and the crops in the fields began to rot before they could be harvested. A harsh winter came, unlike any the kingdom had seen, and the people of Vanyara grew desperate. The king, once a ruler beloved by all, summoned his council. It was said that the guardian was born among them, a young girl named Anjali. She was a gentle soul, with eyes as bright as the spring sky and hair that shimmered like the golden rays of dawn. At 16 years of age, Anjali had lived a carefree life, dreaming of exploring beyond the mountains that shielded Vanyara from the rest of the world. She had always loved the heart tree, and she had heard the old stories, but she never thought they would apply to her. But that dream was shattered the day the king called for her. Anjali's parents were torn. They had always known she was special, but the idea of sacrificing her life was more than they could bear. Her mother wept for days, and her father, a humble farmer, could only hold her close and pray to the gods. But Anjali, standing in the soft glow of the heart tree, felt a deep connection to it, something that ran far deeper than blood or fate. She felt the tree's pain, and it called to her. She knew, as surely as she knew the rising of the sun, that the time had come for her to fulfill her destiny. That night, after the last of the tears had dried, Anjali made her way to the heart tree. The tree stood before her, its branches hanging low, as if waiting for her. She placed her hands gently on the bark, feeling the faint pulse of its life force beneath her fingertips. The air grew warmer, and the first blossoms of the heart tree began to unfurl. The light grew so intense that it was almost blinding, and then, in an instant, the valley was filled with a radiant glow. Anjali felt her body grow lighter, as though she were floating, her very soul being drawn into the tree's roots. The pain of sacrifice was sharp, but it was a sweet pain, for she knew that her life would live on in the tree, in the land, and in the hearts of the people she had loved. When the light finally faded, the valley was quiet. The heart tree stood tall once more, its bark gleaming like gold, its blossoms glowing brightly in the moonlight. The valley was alive again. The rivers flowed, the crops grew, and the people of Vanyara rejoiced. The moral of the story is self-sacrifice for the greater good. It teaches that true heroism sometimes requires putting the needs of others above one's own desires or comfort. Anjali's willingness to sacrifice herself for the survival of her people and the restoration of the kingdom highlights the power of selflessness and the profound impact one individual's actions can have on an entire community. The story reminds us that the greatest acts of courage are often those that are made out of love, compassion, and a deep sense of responsibility. She